The next morning at breakfast, Jake sat over a bowl of cereal, thinking hard. So hard that he didn't even notice his cereal had turned to mush. Mom walked into the kitchen, saw his face, and stopped mid-step. "Jake? Everything okay?" He looked up with the expression kids make when they need to ask a very important question but don't know how to start. Mom sat down across from him with a cup of tea. "All right," she said. "What happened?" Jake took a deep breath.
"Mom,"
he began slowly.
"why is my hair so—"
He searched for the right word.
"terrible?"
Mom put down her cup. A special parental smile appeared on her face, the kind that means, "Oh, my son has finally noticed something besides video games." "Jakey," she said gently, "your hair isn't terrible. It just needs a little more care."
"But I do wash it,"
Jake protested. "I know you do."
"So why isn't that enough?"
Mom looked at him and said something that completely threw Jake off. "It's like flowers. You have to water them if you want them to grow healthy and beautiful." Jake frowned. "Flowers? What did flowers have to do with hair?"
"But Mom,"
he said, trying to work it out,
"hair isn't flowers."
"I know, sweetheart. It's just a comparison."
"But the comparison doesn't make sense. Flowers grow in soil. Hair grows on your head. They're completely different."
Mom sighed. "All right," she said, changing tactics. "Listen carefully. Washing is only part of taking care of your hair. It needs more."
"More what?"
"Brushing."
"But brushing hurts,"
Jake interrupted. Mom ignored the protest. "And healthy food, so it gets all the vitamins it needs." Jake looked at his bowl of cereal. On the box, in big, colorful letters, it said, "With vitamins." He pointed at it.
"But I eat vitamins. Look, it says so right there."
Mom looked at the cereal, then at Jake, then back at the cereal. "That's not quite the same vitamins, Jakey."
"But it says vitamins."
"I know. But marketing isn't everything."
"What's marketing?"
Mom shook her head. "Never mind. Listen." She leaned in and spoke as if sharing a great secret. "There's a tiny factory inside your scalp where hair is made. You have to give that factory all the right ingredients so it can work as well as it possibly can." Jake froze with his spoon halfway to his mouth.
"A factory?"
He quickly pressed both hands to his head, as if expecting to feel machinery humming away inside.
"In my head?"
"Well, technically in your scalp."
"I have a factory inside me?"
Mom laughed. "It's just a way of explaining it, Jakey. It's not a real factory with chimneys and—"
"But how does it work?"
Jake interrupted, now really excited.
"Are there people in there? Machines? Do they get a lunch break?"
"Jake?
"Do they wear hard hats?"
Jake." Mom raised her voice slightly to get his attention. "It's a metaphor."
"What's a metaphor?"
Mom sighed heavily and glanced at the clock. "I'll explain tonight. Now eat your breakfast and get ready for school."
"But Mom—"
"Eat, Jake." And that was the end of the discussion. Because when Mom says eat in that tone, the discussion is over. It's a universal law of parenting that has worked for thousands of years. Jake ate the rest of his mushy cereal in silence, but his head was buzzing with questions. A hair factory? On his head? All day at school, Jake couldn't stop thinking about it. During math, he didn't listen to Mrs. Coleman explaining multiplication. He just drew little factories with chimneys in his notebook. At recess, he sat alone in the corner of the playground, trying to imagine what a hair factory looked like.
Were there tiny people inside? Did they drive forklifts? Did they have a cafeteria? Did they produce hair like cars on an assembly line?
The more he thought about it, the more it all sounded kind of cool. That evening, once he'd finished his homework, Jake lay straight down on his bed and closed his eyes. He tried to picture the details. Little creatures in yellow hard hats, rushing back and forth. Giant machines manufacturing hair. Maybe there were even big red buttons labeled "Do Not Press." All factories probably had those. It was practically a requirement. He smiled. That would be amazing. Sleep began to creep in slowly. His thoughts grew hazier and hazier.